Welcome to the TechHub.training Alteryx, the Formula to Success Challenge solution. We're going to open Alteryx, and first we're going to start by cleaning the missing data. To be able to do that, we need to use our input data tool to input the data, the orders table from our data. So I'm going to go in here, set up connection, file, select my file. You're going to navigate to the file you need and open it. I'm going to make sure it's on the orders sheet, since that's the one we are using, and hit OK. And then that will set up our connection. Then we are going to use the formula tool to fill in the missing values in the sales rep ID column with a 0. So I'm going to select the column, sales rep ID, and then I'm going to start typing the formula I'm going to use. So I'm going to use an if statement. And if you select it, it will already give it to you. So we're going to go if is null, and then you're going to use brackets to select the column. If is null, sales rep ID, then 0. So it means if it's null, it's going to replace it with a 0. Else, we just want what's in the sales rep ID already. And if. And that's all for that step. Then we're going to fill in the order date, due date, and ship date columns with the date that is obviously inaccurate. And so instead of dragging a new formula tool, since this is the same question, I'm just going to hit add right here. And then I'm going to select order date. And then again, I'm going to do an if statement. I'm going to do if is null, order date, then I'm going to do the date 1900-01-01. You can see that, 1900-01-01. That's the way you want to set up your data to. Else, order date, and if. All right, that's our formula. We're going to do the same thing for due date. Just going to copy and paste that in. Change order date to due date. And one last time, we're going to do it for ship date. All right, and there's your solution to question 1. All right, let's move on to question 2 and format our job names. So this time we could keep going, but to keep the questions separate, I'm just going to drag in a new formula tool. And we are going to find the job name column. And I'm going to use the replace function. If you're not sure what function to use, you can always hit that. And there's suggestions for the data type, or you can go in here and use a string and find them in here. So right here, there's the replace that we're going to use. So we're going to replace job name. Our target is going to be with nothing. And our target is going to be a quotation mark. So I'm just going to use one quotation mark there. And then our replacement is going to be nothing. So you can use a single or double quotation, but since I'm trying to replace a double quotation, I'm using single quotations on the outside. And that is it for question 2. And I'm going to drag a new formula tool for the third formula, but again, I could always just hit add and keep going on the same formula tool. For the third step, we're going to calculate the days since shipment. We're going to pretend that today's date is August 12th, 2021, and create a new column that calculates the days since shipment. All right, so I'm going to hit add a column this time, and I'm going to type in days since ship, and I'm going to use a formula date time diff. So our first date is going to be the fake today's date, which is 2021-08-12. And then the day 2 is going to be the ship date. And we're going to do the unit as days. And there's our answer for our question 3. Let's move on to question 4 with another formula tool. Fourth, we're going to categorize our job types. So we're going to create a new column called job type category. You could also do this with a join tool, but since we're practicing our formula tool, I wanted to show you how you could do it with the formula tool. So I have a copy of a simple screen printing data because if you have the original file open, your Alteryx file won't be able to run. And we're going to go to our job type column, and as you can see, right here we have our job type ID and the job type. So we're going to use this to create our if statement. So we're going to go in here, we're going to do if our job type ID equals 2, then embroidery. All right, so as we can see, 2 is embroidery. Does that make sense? And then we're going to go else if job type ID equals 3, then screen printing. All right, and we're going to keep going. I'm just going to copy and paste the rest for you to see. All right, so you see else if job type equals 4, then we're going to do embroidery / green. If it equals 5, we're going ASI. If it equals 6, it's blank goods. And if it equals 7, art only. And then we need one more line for our other type. So we're just going to say else other. So if it equals 1, it's going to be other automatically, and then end if. All right, that is the answer to question 4. We're going to move on to question 5. Let's drag in one more formula tool. We're going to create a column that will sum total charges. So we're going to add a new column called total charge. And this one's nice and easy. We're just going to hit charge art plus charge special plus setup charge. And our last challenge is to change the data type to a float just in case there are any decimal points. And that you can just go easy. You hit the data type, and I'm just going to switch it to float. Okay, and then let's put in a browse tool so we can see our end. I'm going to run that. And right here you can click, and this will be our ending data set, which you can also find in the solution. So thank you for doing the Alteryx Formula to Success Challenge, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.